Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Terrafugia officially taking flying car orders. Fired airline pilot vindicated. And could you be the next face of Airborne? Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's October 22nd, and this is Airborne Unlimited. International media reports have confirmed that deliveries of the Terrafugia flying car will start next year. Answering the questions that had yet to be fully answered, Terrafugia's transition will only be sold in the U.S. at first, and for an initial price of $279,000. Terrafugia started taking $10,000 deposit and reservations for the vehicle last July. They also announced new features for the transition production vehicle, a two-seat auto and aircraft, including updates to the interior, safety systems, motor, and flight instrumentation. The latest features and systems will be incorporated and verified in the next test vehicles. In the meantime, Terrafugia is also promoting work on the TF2, its next-generation aerial vehicle. The TF2 is a three-part transportation system consisting of a passenger or cargo cabin that is transported by an air vehicle and a road vehicle. The four-seat TF2 air vehicle propulsion system is comprised of 8 electric motors, powered initially by a turbine generator, and ultimately powered by batteries as technology advances. The TF2 ground vehicle will be a hybrid electrically powered initially, and become purely electric as practical air vehicle avionics. It will utilize fully integrated glass avionics initially, evolving to a full autonomous capable aircraft as technology matures. After the break, Rocket Lab selects Wallops flight facility to build U.S. launch site.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-by@aero-news.net. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. U.S. orbital launch provider Rocket Lab has confirmed it will build its first U.S. launch pad for the Electron rocket at NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. The site will be Rocket Lab's second dedicated launch complex and builds on Rocket Lab's existing ability to launch up to 120 times annually from the world's only private launch site, Rocket Lab Launch Complex 1 in New Zealand. Launch Complex 2 will be capable of supporting monthly orbital launches and is designed to serve U.S. government and commercial missions. The annual Corporate Angel Network charity event at NBAA-BACE in Orlando raised nearly $300,000 for CAN's mission to transport cancer patients to treatment centers. The Fund and Angel cocktail reception was held at the Hilton Orlando on October 17th. In conjunction with NBAA's 2018 Business Aviation Convention and Exposition. We're so grateful to the business aviation community for their enthusiastic support of CAN's mission of providing transportation for patients to cancer care centers, said CAN Executive Director Gina Russo. Nearly 550 helicopters representing 146 customers are sharing data with Airbus helicopters with the goal of gaining actionable intelligence that improves operational performance and business results. Helicopter data sources currently shared with Airbus helicopters include Airbus's Helionics Avionics Suite, Health and Usage Monitoring Systems, and Fleetkeeper Digital Logbook, among others. New data sources have recently joined the ranks, such as helicopter maintenance data, thanks to agreements Airbus Helicopters has signed with 4 MRO software providers. SecAF Heather Wilson and Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein, thanked Congress for providing the resources necessary to restore the service's readiness, while testifying before the Senate Armed Services Committee's Subcommittee on Readiness and Management Support earlier this month. Wilson praised Congress for passing an appropriations bill on time for the first time in nearly a decade. Today, more than 75% of the Air Force's core fighting units are combat ready with their lead forces packages. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The FAA and the airline industry has always mandated safety as the first priority in any operation. So when an airline pilot was unceremoniously fired for doing the safe thing, it set people talking all over the industry and spawned a pretty serious lawsuit. Now we have confirmed that Allegiant Airlines has settled out of court with Captain Jason Kinzer, whom they fired after he ordered an emergency landing and evacuation because of a burning smell in his MD-80. Captain Kinzer alleged via his lawsuit that the airline was putting profits over safety. Kinzer was shown the door barely a month after he undertook the emergency evacuation in June 2016. The company claimed that the aviator failed to preserve the company's assets, aircraft ground equipment, fuel, and the personal time of our employees and customers. In their dismissal letter to the captain, further declaring that the evacuation was entirely unwarranted. The company got a lot of bad press over the incident, even having been featured on an episode of 60 Minutes that alleged that the airline experienced an alarming number of aborted takeoffs, cabin pressure loss, emergency descents, and unscheduled landings. The details of the settlement reached with Captain Kinzer have not been disclosed. After these messages, expert help wanted. Could you be the next face of Airborne?
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight 4-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. There are big changes and ambitions afoot for Airborne as we work our way into 2019. And that means that we need to find new staffers for aviation's longest-running aviation video news programming. We have a need for one new Airborne staffer as soon as possible, and another shortly after the start of the year. These are autonomous one-man band positions where you must be as comfortable behind the camera as in front of it. You will be responsible for presenting aviation-related news stories on camera, while often handling all audio, video, and lighting, as well as editing the final product. The ideal candidate will be an experienced videographer and editor with prior on-air experience and the ability to work without a lot of supervision. Being knowledgeable of the aviation and aerospace industry is hugely beneficial. You must be highly proficient in either Final Cut Pro or Adobe Editing Suite and have some familiarity with compression settings and uploading videos to the web. You must be able to work quickly and under deadline, as well as comfortable operating and reading from a teleprompter. If this interests you, we'd love to hear from you. Please send your resume, clips of your on-air work, or demo reel to jim@aero-news.net. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.